All right. Welcome back, ladies and gents. Now, in a few minutes, you are going to go ahead and discover how to find profitable hidden industries with virtually no competition, identify that industry's most critical pain point, and package that solution into a profitable digital product, all using the power of AI. Now, this method allows you to create a digital product without having any previous expertise or authority, without having to develop a sellable skill yourself, without having to spend tens of thousands of dollars paying for someone else's knowledge, and without even having to show your face if you don't want to. And if you stay until the end, you'll get my personal method for finding and creating your first winning digital product. And also, I have a very important announcement at the end of today's live session. It has to do with our competition for $250,000 in prizes, including a brand new McLaren, 5 Rolexes, and a one-day live mastermind with me in New York at the Whop offices. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on that. So make sure you stay on this live stream until the very end, because there's some stuff that I'm going to cover live here today. And I tell my team to actually take it out of the replays later. So yesterday, we went on for about an extra hour. Today, we'll probably go on once again for about an extra hour or 2 hours. That was live. That was cut out. No one else got to see that. So for all my people who were there live yesterday, you guys are absolute legends, and we're going to run it back again today, okay? So if you want to see that stuff, make sure you hang back for the live session. And just like we did yesterday, at the end of this live training, we're going to have our informal sessions. Okay, there's going to be a little bit more hangout session, answering all your questions with my very special co-host, Jason Fladlin, who's been in this industry for 20 years at this point and has lived through all the big 5 waves of the digital product landscape. Now, just a recap of what we covered yesterday. We discovered the 4 big waves of the digital world, as well as the $684.9 million per day digital product industry that's shockingly untapped. Also, we covered how combining AI with digital products will create the 5th and biggest wave yet, and how AI is disrupting the digital product landscape with non-expert digital products that are currently making $8,000 to $171,000 a month. Most importantly, the 3 Ds that all successful digital products have in common: develop, distribute, and deliver. Those are the 3 Ds. Yesterday, I've given you the 30,000 foot overview of these 3 steps. And tonight, we're going to dive deep into step 1, which is develop. By the end of this class, you'll know exactly what it takes to develop a digital product with potential to make upwards of $100,000 in sales. And our goal here together is one thing and one thing only: to have your first digital product structure ready by the end of this event. It doesn't matter if you are a complete beginner, have tried and failed with other businesses before, have a small budget, or even have less than 1 hour a day to invest in your business. The only reason I can make such bold claims like this is because I've seen the results of it. Over 10,000 verified people making money from digital products. I can see the back end of all of those individuals' payments processing, so I know for a fact that they are all making money doing this through digital products on Whop. People like Kevin, who's made over $30,000 from his digital product. All these successful people did was 4 things very well when it comes to developing their products: identify, synthesize, package, productize. Those are the exact steps I'm going to show you today. The truth is, there's never been anything like this before. Creating a digital product using AI is the ultimate one-person business to start in 2025. So today, I'm going to show you a proven system to identify winning industries with little to no competition and very high margins using what I call unique value zones. How to automate 95% of this process with easy-to-use AI, even if you don't know anything about tech, as well as show you how to turn these simple digital products, which is a collection of 5 to 20 materials that we know nothing about, into reliable money printing machines. Then you'll learn the 4-step process to build your first non-expert digital product from scratch, even if you don't want to show your face, as well as the 3 formats of non-expert digital products that virtually guarantee that you will get sales. The only thing you need to do, or the only thing you should keep in mind here, is that this works in dozens of niches and thousands of different topics. All you need to do is find one single topic to monetize. Just like Andrew, who figured out the topic for his digital product was sober living homes. Just yesterday, he made over $15,000 from this topic and over $123,000 in total earnings from a single topic. And that's why I always say you're only one digital product away from being one of these success stories yourself. And I know that when I say this, you probably go, but how do I even find a topic to create a digital product on? I don't even know anything about these topics. And don't worry, my friend, we're going to cover all of that today. So if I reveal that to you today, the strategy that I've developed to find winning digital products, will you commit to taking action and using it to find your first digital product today? Go ahead and type a commit in the chat. If I show you this, you're the sort of person who will commit. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and open up the chats. Give me a sec. I'll take a little swig of water. Go ahead and type a commit. Commit. Love it. Hell yeah, commit. Beautiful. I will commit. Yeah, you'll commit because you are a legend. I love to see it. Beautiful, guys. Beautiful. Now, with that being said, with what I'm going to show you today, you're going to go from I don't have anything to sell to give me a computer and I will make millions. Now, just to avoid any confusion, we need to clearly establish what AI truly is and how you'll use it to have a massive unfair advantage for winning your digital products. If you're familiar with any of these technologies, you already use AI on a daily basis. Guys, give me a second. I got a tea. Thank you very much. Sorry, guys. A lot of presenting, so decided I have a nice little tea with me today. Anyways, all that to say, if you're using Alexa, Gmail, or even Google or Waze, autocorrect or autofill on your keyboard, those are all AI-powered apps. Again, it's not something extremely complex as most people think. You are already using AI day to day, all right? And you trust it with dozens of tasks on a daily basis without even realizing it. So if you already use it to correct your spelling mistakes, filter your spam, and give you precise directions when driving, well, then why not use it for something that actually makes you money? What most people don't realize is that just as simply as AI can do all of these tasks, it can also perform tasks that put money in your pocket. What AI can do already is create insane photorealistic images that you can't even tell from reality. All the pictures that you're seeing right here, they're not actual pictures. They've been created by AI. Or all the videos you're seeing here, they're not real videos. They have been created by AI. This is especially useful if you're one of those who doesn't want to show your face when creating a digital product. You can use AI when recording all the videos for your digital product. It is insanity, guys. So I have even seen guys who create some of the most successful digital products in history using it to replace themselves. It is shockingly easy for the first time ever for anyone to do this. And you can also use it to research and identify profitable topics that you would never be able to find yourself. And by the way, this is how we find hidden gold mines that we can profit truckloads of money from, niches that are untapped, waiting to be explored, and full of potential buyers. We can also use to find proven solutions based on scientific publications, academic studies, books, podcasts, paid courses, etc., which we use to our advantage to create products even on topics that we know nothing about. Remember, AI has all the information available on the internet stored in its artificial brain. It knows exactly how to solve virtually any problem out there, and it can find and package those solutions 200 times faster than any human ever could. Hence, why you can now create a digital product in less than a week. In fact, you can create it in less than a day when previously it used to take upwards of 3 to 6 months. Now, some people ask, how good and smart is AI actually? And the answer is insanely good. There are some researchers pointing out that AI already outperforms PhD experts in their own fields. AI has successfully passed the Turing test for the first time ever. Now, if you don't know what that is, back in 1950, Alan Turing proposed a test to judge the intelligence of a machine. That is one of the greatest scientists in history, by the way. The way the test works is basically you have the machine testing a human interrogator who at the same time will be texting another human. And Turing actually called this the imitation game. I'm sure you guys, it's a very popular movie. I'm sure you guys have all seen it. Now, if the interrogator couldn't correctly determine which one was the computer and which one was the human, it would suggest that the machine could think like a human. And around a month ago, AI just passed this test. So now it is officially impossible to distinguish between AI and a human. We even have the CEO of Google saying AI is a more profound discovery than fire and electricity. That is how big this fifth wave is. Now, AI is not going to simply put money in your pocket on its own. You need to apply it to a business model, okay? This way, you have a vehicle through which you can take advantage of AI to make money. It's kind of like the internet. Look, you can have the internet, but that doesn't mean you're going to make money. You can have AI, but that doesn't mean you're going to make money. And that's why you need to apply AI to something else. And when you put these two things together, magic happens. And listen, there is no better way to apply it than digital products. As you've seen in our first live session, every single new big wave that hits this market was created by applying a new element, in this case AI, to a past big wave, in this case digital products. So it only makes sense to combine AI with digital products. And I've actually been building my own proprietary AI digital product development software over the last 12 months. So that way I can cut the time down to build my own digital products from months to literally hours. And I'm going to talk to you about that more in a second. For now, let's go ahead and let's get into the strategy. I like to call this process AI synthesization. Personally, I believe this is the most valuable skill to learn for 2025. This is how we turn a simple 90 minutes of screen recording into a digital product with potential to generate hundreds of thousands of dollars. This method works on the idea that instead of having to learn how to do something yourself to then package it as a digital product, you just need to learn how to guide AI to do it for you. Use it to extract, synthesize, and productize information. The fact is, information has become abundant. Even if you don't have any knowledge yourself, you can take advantage of AI, the world's most powerful brain. And with that, you can create your first digital product within a few hours. And if you already have expertise on a topic, it's going to be even easier for you to use AI in this process of developing your digital product. Most importantly, the real beauty of this AI synthesization process is that if you do it right, you can create a product once and sell it thousands of times. Now, I know your next obvious question is, but isn't it actually possible to create once and sell 1,000 times? Not only is it possible, but I have sold the same digital product over 1,000 times in a single day, dozens of times. And I'm going to detail this in extreme strategy and extreme detail in episode 4. And by the way, I've done this with products ranging from $29 all the way up to $1,500. Maybe you remember, or maybe you even purchased Millionaire Mindset. That is a product I created once and didn't sell 1,000 times, but over 10,000 times. In fact, it's 12,900, I believe is the exact number. 12,000, it's over 12,000. That's all I know. Over 12,000 times in just this month alone. Just the past 30 days, I've sold it over 10,000 times. Okay. It took me less than 90 minutes to put together. And by the way, you can even do the math on how much that generated me. A simple $29 product sold over 10,000 times is more than some of the highest paying jobs that they make in a year for 90 minutes of work. A product that I sold with a 5-minute video and 2 buttons on the page. And that is why I call this the ultimate one-person business. You don't need to hire employees or run an overstaffed operation. With this model, you can make $1,000 or you can make $100,000. The work to fulfill once or 10,000 times, the work to actually fulfill 1 or 10,000 customers is virtually the same. And you can create your product within a few hours. And that product does not stop paying you. Once it's created, it will keep paying dividends for years to come. You know the difference between rich people and poor people? If you've ever read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, you will know that rich people collect assets, poor people collect liabilities. And I like to think of digital products as the ultimate asset that you can create. It's like having your own real estate portfolio. Each new digital product you add is a new rental property to your portfolio. And each property keeps paying you dividends every single month. The difference is, it's digital real estate. So it doesn't cost you anything to build a new property. You can build as many properties as you want for free. Think about it. If someone offered to give you a free rental property every single week for completely free, would you accept it? Each property will keep paying you dividends for the rest of your life. In that situation, of course you would accept it. So why don't you build digital real estate? Here is the 4-step process to build digital products from scratch with AI, even on topics you know nothing about or have no expertise in. First is identify. Second, synthesize. Third is package. And fourth is productize. Step number 1, identify. Here is our first step. We're going to use AI to identify hidden topics with lots of demand and very little competition. There are thousands of hidden profitable topics out there waiting to be explored. Most of them still unexplored. No digital products sold on it. And the most important thing you need to understand here is you don't need to know a thing about that topic. Get this first step here, the first step here is the most crucial of this entire process. Get this wrong and you fail. Because trying to sell the wrong product will lead you to wasting months and months of work, getting eaten alive by the competition, getting frustrated with the lack of results, and then finally giving up. There's 3 big mistakes that destroy your chances of success before you even get started with this. If you make one of these mistakes before you launch your product, you've already failed before even starting. Mistake number 1, positioning your product in a red ocean. In other words, an extremely competitive market with hundreds, if not even thousands of other people selling the same solution to the same problem as you. There are big sharks in these industries and there's a lot of blood in the water, hence why a red ocean. So if you go in a market like that without having authority, any unique method or any experience, no wonder it doesn't work. Instead, you want a blue ocean like Zach here, who made $14,000 in the last 24 hours on the topic of exotic car rentals. The reason why people like Zach managed to get these numbers is because they position their products in what I like to call the third layer. And by the way, this is my signature strategy to identify blue ocean markets. In any market you sell to, there's actually going to be 3 layers. The first layer is your industry. The second layer is your niche. So think most people selling digital products right now. That is where they are positioned at. Most people, they only think industry and niche. They don't go any further than that, okay? And that's why when you think like this and you can actually have an AI solution to go a step further, okay? You're ahead of 99.9% of the competition. For example, first layer, industry, personal development. Second layer, niche, productivity. Or first layer, industry, health. Second layer, niche, weight loss. Yeah, get in line. You are doomed to fail. The thing is, if you're positioned in the second layer like that, you're doomed to fail. A few years ago, maybe you would have got away with it, but today, no chance. Virtually every niche has turned into a red ocean. Now, what most people don't understand is that you can actually still dig another layer deeper. Instead of staying in the second layer, you could go down to the third layer. Give me a second, guys. Gonna have a little swig of tea. And this is where the hidden gold mines are. I call this third layer your unique value zone. Think of your market as a commercial building. The first layer is like the ground floor lobby. Everyone passes through here. It's crowded, noisy, and you're never going to stand out. The second layer is kind of like getting an elevator to a specific floor. It's less crowded than the lobby, but still filled with people all trying to get the same customer's attention. And really, this is your niche level. The third layer is like finding a little secret room on your floor that no one else knows about. And in this room, you're the only one there to greet the specific customer who has discovered it. And the customers who find their way to this room are ready, okay? The people who know where the secret room is, they're already convinced that they want what it is that you provide. And that's exactly what you should do with your digital products as well. Position your digital products in the third layer by finding your unique value zone where no one else is competing. For example, a digital product selling productivity. You know what would be much more effective than this? Selling reduce your screen time as an entrepreneur or self-employed professional. Or instead, you could sell how to sleep better as an executive who's always traveling to different time zones, okay? Or instead of just weight loss, it would make so much, it would be so much easier to sell if you sold something along the lines of how to recover your prepartum body in 12 weeks after giving birth. The examples of this are endless, which leads me to mistake number 2, not considering at least 20 different unique value zones. Most people just go for the first topic that comes to their mind. Odds are it's probably not the best one. Ladies and gentlemen, our first ideas are usually our worst ideas. And I really had this realization when I did a simple 1-minute exercise. And by the way, I want you guys to do this all for yourself. It's very simple. You have 60 seconds and I need you to name as many means of transportation as possible. I'm actually going to check the chat. Give me some different forms of transportation and let's see what you guys come up with. Let's see, plane, train, taxi, air, train, bus, interesting, car, train, foot. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, listen, those are some great options for sure. But that's what everyone thinks of. Everyone thinks of a car, a bus, a plane, a helicopter. When you get to 20, you start getting creative. A golf cart, an elevator, a surfboard, a parachute. You see, when you get to the end, you start to think really out of the box. When you start going through this exercise, you really get out of the box here. Wings, legs, jetpack, walking suit, Iron Man suit. And that is where you find the best ideas. The problem is we just don't go through enough ideas. Usually, we just take different topics and stay stuck at those first 5 to 10 ideas. So you're always at this shallow level. Instead, you just take one topic and you dig deep. Now, me personally, I'm not a very creative person. You know, that's not my specialty. That never has been my specialty. Okay, I'm not a very creative person, and I don't like to have to depend on creativity to make money. And that is why the first step of the AI software that I've been developing is uncovering hidden profitable topics. Now I'm going to talk about this a little bit more later, but here's just a few examples of topics that I came up with, all of which have high potential and could be very profitable. Tackling insomnia in high stress executives. There's a lot of demand and buying power in this topic. Very few, if any, solutions for this specific problem of this audience. Parents trying to manage their children's screen time. real estate, navigating hidden costs for first-time buyers, emotional burnout in women who constantly put others first. We'll actually go ahead and use this one as an example later for you to see just how powerful this is. And listen, there are so many more examples when you start thinking about it rather than a niche, you start thinking about a unique value zone. All of these are unique value zones with high monetization potential. And I know a lot of you guys are probably thinking right now, but are there enough people who are actually interested in these specific topics to buy a digital product on that? And the answer is yes, a lot of them. We usually underestimate how many people there are inside these micro niches. And even if you go to very specific topics, for example, one of the top selling digital products ever on Udemy is on becoming a super learner. It basically teaches speed reading and memory boosting techniques. Realistically, how many people do you know who would actually be interested in that in the first place and then commit enough to actually put their money towards a digital product on that? I mean, probably not that many, right? Well, me either. But the fact is, over 230,000 people have purchased that digital product, and it ranges anywhere from $20 all the way up to $80. So guys, we can do the math on this, okay? Low end, we're talking about $4.6 million from a single digital product. Realistically, that number is way closer to $10 million. So there are definitely enough people in those small niches for you to make more money than you know what to do with. Another one of the top selling digital products ever is this simple woodworking guide. It is a collection of woodworking plans that has been a top seller for over 5 years at this point, making millions every single year. This is one of those products you can create once and sell 10,000ths of time, and you don't even need to deliver anything. So at this point, do you see how having a software that identifies validated topics for you and essentially guarantees that you're not going to choose the wrong topic under any circumstance is basically half the way to creating a successful digital product? Now, here's where it gets interesting. And here is where we're really going to get into the real power of AI. You now have a proven topic. Your position in the third layer. You have a profitable problem to fix. So what do you need to do now? Come up with a solution for this problem. Now, what must be true here is quality. You need a solution that actually works. Now, creating digital products is not always easy. It involves lots of research, detailed course outlines, be educated on the topic itself, as well as a steep learning curve. At least that is how it used to be up until a few months ago. This used to take months of work, and realistically, you wouldn't even be able to get into topic you know nothing about. It would simply take too long. But now, with the right tools, this has become possible. So how do we do it? We get AI to synthesize all the real world data available out there into a simple 3 to 5 step process on how to actually solve the problem that we identified in step 1. Think scientific studies, research papers, business reports, all website courses, and YouTube videos. AI is going to analyze all of that and use them as references. Now, we use at least 150 sources as references to guarantee the quality of the solution that AI comes up with. And by the way, this is super crucial. If you want to gather those references manually, be my guest, okay? So if you want to go and you want to do it yourself, it's an option, of course. Like that, you can't deny it's not an option. But and that's where you do it yourself, okay? So everything in life, you have an option to do it yourself or have it done for you, okay? And of course, those have different costs, but you have that choice, okay? The power is in your hands to either do it yourself or have it done for you. For me personally, there's a much easier way, okay? There's a much easier way to do this, and I spent almost a year creating my own AI specifically for the sole purpose of helping me create digital products that sell. It's called Synthesis AI. It identifies profitable, untapped topics, synthesizes the information from 150 plus sources as a reference, suggests a proven package and format for your digital product, and then develops a proven outline for our digital product. Think of it as a step-by-step outline on how to fix the problems that your customer has. It develops this outline in about 40 minutes or so. In fact, let me show you some of the outlines that it has developed. I picked one of our proven topics from step 1. First layer, industry, health. Second layer is self-care. Third layer is our unique value zone. Emotional burnout in women who constantly put other people first. This is a topic with a lot of demand and very few good solutions. Okay, there's a lot of demand in this topic, but there's not really that many products created around it. There's a lot of generic solutions. Now, here is the outline that Synthesize created for my digital product to fix emotional burnout in women who constantly put others first. It gives you the topic for each screen recording and exactly what we're going to go ahead and deliver on them. Now, how do I know if this even works or if it's a good outline? Well, remember I told you that this is based on science-backed data from over 150 references. So what it does is it provides you with some of those references to use as proof that this digital product is backed by science and actually works. So it's going to go in and it's going to actually give you all these references. And once again, this is the smartest brain on earth. You literally have access to the smartest brain on earth to create your digital product for you. Once again, you can always do it yourself or you can have it done for you. Everything in life, you want to wash your car, you can do it yourself or you can have it done for you. There's always different options, okay? The power is in your hands and you also get to choose and you also get to decide. As you can see, it's pulling in all this information from studies and research papers, and it already has all the raw materials it needs to create an outstanding outline. One that actually works in practice to fix a problem we identified. And this allows us to create digital products even in topics that we know nothing about. It eliminates months of hard work, research, writing, and development. And instead, it turns creating a digital product into a process as simple as clicking a few buttons. Do you think that you could click a few buttons and create a profitable digital product? That is the power of AI. Now, I know a lot of you guys are wondering, okay, well, how do I get access to this thing? I have some unfortunate news. The software I'm developing, Synthesis AI, is not available just yet. You see, back in January, I opened the first beta group for this, and the first users have been in awe with the results. My focus right now is not to make it public, but rather just to make it the best it can possibly be. And that is why I'm looking to add a few more people to this beta test for this newer version, this updated version that my engineering team has just shipped, which makes it 12.7 times more powerful than the original one I launched in January. Once again, in the software game, especially the AI software game, things move quick. And when you have a powerful tool, it just keeps getting more and more powerful. Now, a little bit later on, I will show you how to get access to it and actually be one of these beta testers of Synthesize. Once again, I want to make it very clear as we go through this 5 days, I'm going to give you the option to basically take this and do it yourself. Everything I teach you here, you can take it, do it yourself. Now, for some of you guys, just literally the 1%, the top 1% that want to have it done for you, a full plug and play system, then I give you that option as well. But I want to make it clear, you're always going to have the option. Now, here is where it gets interesting and where we get to use the real power of AI. There are two other things that you need to define: your product's pricing as well as your product's format. Product and format, those two things make your packaging. Just like a physical product has a package, a box around it, we need to have packaging for digital products. This is my eyewear company. I'm sure most of you guys know, Gadget. We actually rebranded in the last month or so to Hills. We've been working on for a long time. That's actually our packaging, okay? So in my physical product businesses, I have packaging, very expensive packaging. The difference is packaging for digital products is even more powerful because we can essentially package the exact same digital product in hundreds of different ways instantaneously, okay? So we're essentially selling the same thing to hundreds of potential different audiences. When it comes to pricing, I want you to price your product anywhere from $50 to $300. Usually that's the best range for these digital products. That's it. Now, ideally, the closer to $300, the better. The easier it'll be to actually make more money. Now, how much you can charge totally depends on the format of your digital product. When it comes to digital products, it's all about format. Again, it goes back to the point of most people think they can't sell digital products because they lack the knowledge or authority that people wouldn't buy a product from them. And that's exactly why we go for non-expert product formats. We don't need to be seen as an authority figure or even know a thing about the topic that we're selling in order for our digital product to be valuable. I gave the example yesterday. The people who drop shipped and made millions of dollars from rubber ducks, do you think they know anything about rubber ducks? Of course not. But them not knowing anything about rubber ducks, does that make the rubber duck any less valuable? Of course not, because the product that they create is disattached from who they are. They're two separate things, okay? And that is what we're really doing here with non-expert products. We're disattaching, okay? We're removing the value of you compared to the value of your product. Once again, when you buy something online, when you buy that, I don't know, I don't think anyone's actually buying rubber ducks online, but if someone's buying a rubber duck online, they don't care who made it. They just want the thing, okay? And that is really what we're doing here. Remember the map versus tour guide analogy from day one. It's really the same thing here. A map is valuable no matter who is selling it to you and how much they know about that location. The map in of itself is valuable because of the format of information it is structured, okay? Going back to the digital products where you get a collection of woodworking plans, it doesn't really matter who's selling it to you. The value is in the 16,000 plans that you get, not the person who is selling it, okay? That is what you need to understand. So that is why I say information is valuable, but only when it's structured in a specific format. And that's also why you don't need to be a specialist in any topic in order to sell products online. In fact, for the woodworking example, it is packaged as one of my 4 favorite formats of non-expert digital products. These actually allow you to sell even if you have no authority or literally no one knows who you are. And you'll understand why when you see them. I've tested all of these. And what I've noticed is that if you package your digital product with one of these formats, you're pretty much guaranteed to get sales. The first is a curation or a compilation product. Remember the examples I actually gave you earlier in episode 1? I've read 53 studies on how to improve your VO2 max. Here are the 5 non-negotiable exercises you must do. That will be a perfect example of a curation/compilation product. It's basically a compilation of scientific studies, courses, or other data sources out there digested into a few key takeaways. Or that woodworking example, a collection of 16,000 woodworking plans. This is one of the most desirable formats and one of the easiest things to put together with AI. Format 2 is frameworks. The idea here is quite simple, okay? The idea of this one is very similar to the compilation product. You basically distill a proven framework or method behind the efforts that have led to success in specific fields. And those are very, very easy to curate. For example, did you know that Jeff Bezos, Marcus Aurelius, and Leonardo da Vinci, they all had one specific habit, which they all attributed to a large share of their success. That habit is journaling. And most people don't know, but they all followed a specific 3-step journaling framework to organize their thoughts and make strategic decisions. It's called the 3-step journaling success framework. And that could be your entire digital product. Again, those frameworks and strategies are very well documented in books, news, interviews, all of which Synthesis AI has access to. Now, format 3 is plans. Here's an example for one of our topics from Synthesis AI: resolving knee pains during long runs for marathoners over 50. Here's the output: the 60-day knee comeback plan. You don't have to quit running. You just need a smarter comeback plan. For marathoners over 50 who want to run pain-free again without injections, surgery, or giving up what they love most. Again, how crazy good is this? And if you know people who are really into running, you'll know that one of the biggest problems of the sport is knee problems, especially for people over 50. It is such a hot topic to cover. Easy to sell, a lot of demand, and people are desperately looking for a solution. You can even see here the outline that Synthesize AI developed for the product. It's very in-depth and specific. It starts with pain assessment, mobility testing, then correcting imbalances, then knee-friendly strength drills, and so on. And you can see it's in an outline that makes sense and works in practice. And for each of these modules, Synthesis AI will develop a word-for-word script on what you need to say in each of these screen recording videos for each week. And now our last and final step is productize. All that we have to do now is take that outline that Synthesis AI creates for us and turn it into a 90-minute screen recording broken down into 5 to 10 videos, or however many Synthesize suggests for you. And here you have a few options on how to do that. 4 to be specific. The first one is to screen record some slides with your face by the side of it. And that is the quickest and easiest format, okay? You can do that with a free tool like Loom, even if you don't have any fancy equipment or recording experience. So easy, done, and dusted, just like this. The second option is you do the exact same thing. You screen record slides while you talk over them, but you simply don't show your camera. Once again, that is also an option. And by the way, that's what I did for the 12,900 and something, almost 13,000 millionaire mindset customers. I recorded my screen. I had my little image on the bottom left, but you couldn't see my face, okay? So I decided really just to prove a point. I wanted to make sure that it was faceless. The third option is you screen record the slides and use an AI like 11 Labs or HeyGen to generate an AI voiceover. So that way, you don't even need to speak on the videos yourself. Listen, think about all of those TikTok and Instagram videos with AI voices. You either use those same voices or much better ones with the apps that I mentioned. It's as simple as just dropping the text you want voiced over and clicking generate. Do you think that you can literally just take the text that Synthesize makes for you? So AI generates the text, you drop it in here, it's spoken for you, so it's faceless, and it's a full plug and play system. Finally, and this is where it gets crazy, the last option is you record the slides, you'd add an AI voiceover, and you also add an AI video. So that way you can have actual video without showing your face. Now, it does take a little bit more work, but it's actually super easy as well. And it's definitely an option that anyone can do. So to sum it up, your four options are record slides plus your face plus a voiceover, or record slides record slides plus voiceover. Okay, so this is faceless way. Or you record the slides and you actually have an AI to do the voiceover. Once again, this is also faceless. Or you record the slides, you have an AI video, and you have an AI voiceover. Once again, faceless. 3 out of 4 of these options are faceless. You just pick whichever one works best for your style. And by the way, you can do the exact same thing for everything outward facing as well. So if you ever need to, let's say, create a YouTube video, a reel, or whatever video to promote your digital product, you also have the option of doing that without showing your face. And by the way, we're going to go in detail on this tomorrow. Okay. Now, I know some of you guys will go, but does this actually work? Can you actually do this? Let me give you an example. Because right in front of us, we have one of the most successful ads of this last year, which got 32 million views for a product, and it's completely faceless. In fact, just so you guys understand, this to get the 32 million views that this ad generated, it would cost on average $2.3 million. And just so you understand, no one is spending $2.3 million on faceless ads if it wasn't making money. Okay, the rule with ads is very simple. If someone is spending this much money on a single ad, it's because they are making a crazy return. And by the way, I want to make something clear. No need to worry about ads for now, okay? You don't need them at first. I just wanted to show you what was possible. And it's so funny because people have this wrong assumption that everyone who makes money in this industry is famous and has a massive social media and so on and so forth. While in reality, the people who make the most money in this industry actually don't show their faces, and you wouldn't even know that they exist. I have friends in this digital product industry who make substantially more money than I do, and you would never even know who they are. Once again, like my co-host, Jason, he's going to be doing the full presentation on day 5. He is a father of 3, and he's going to show you literally in the space of the last couple of decades has been in the space. He's made over $250 million. Am I saying you're going to make $250 million? No, not at all. But, the reason I want to bring him on board here is to show, I know some of you guys are going, oh, well, maybe this works for you. Now, I've given you countless examples throughout this presentation of other people who are making money with digital products on Whop, but he's a great person to actually run you through the process. And he did majority of that faceless. Why? Some people, they just prefer to do everything faceless. I mean, Jason's a great example. He could walk down the street. The guy's made almost $250 million with a B dollars. No one knows who he is. And that's cool. That's, by the way, I want to make something clear. That's the best way you can be, is rich and anonymous. And he is rich and anonymous. And a lot of you guys will want to do everything faceless. There are thousands of people like that making millions from digital products. Or if you're like me and you want to show your face, I don't mind. I guess I just kind of grew up on the internet. For me, it's normal at this point. And you already have an expertise. That is also an option. You simply get to choose whichever style works for you. So let's say, for example, you happen to be an expert in something, or you want to show your face. Great. That is an option. But I want to make sure that no one is left behind. The whole reason we put this together, this event, and we created these safety guardrails, like when you're bowling, you have those guardrails where, maybe you don't hit a strike, I guarantee that every person, the only guarantee is that there are no guarantees. Okay. So that's not to say that every single person will hit a strike straight away, but you might clip 1 or 2 pins. Okay. And that's really what we're doing here, is we're creating these guardrails where no single person can get left behind. Okay. So you simply get to choose what style works for you. That is the beauty of this market. Can you see how, after understanding this 4-step process, the product or what should sell should be the last of your concerns? And also, let me tell you something for everyone, because I get people tell me sometimes they're like, oh, they complain that I show cars, watches, blah, blah, on my Instagram. Listen, when you create your first digital product and you start putting money in your bank account, you get to decide how to spend it. Okay. Now, I will say, for all of you guys who put in your why, actually, I'm curious. Go ahead in the chat. I'm going to read the comments now. Put in your why, because we talked about this yesterday, but I really want you to remind yourself of what your why is. Now, for me, my why was my mom, and I made sure that I made sure the people that were there for me from the jump, I made sure they were good. And then you can worry about the stuff. This is the stuff that you can see, but taking care of my people, of course, I'm not going to put it out as publicly. So I want to see your guys' why. As I have another swig of tea. Family, my mom's smile, providing for my loved ones, play more ping pong. That's actually sick. I actually love that. Parents, take care of my family, my parents, girlfriend. Yeah, that's beautiful. So I want to make something very clear. No one is ever allowed to tell you how to spend your money, okay? But when you execute on the stuff, you can enjoy the fruits of your labor on one condition: you take care of your people first. I'm big on that. The way that I was raised is you take care of your people first. You put other people first. You do it for them. Once they're good, then have your fun. No one can tell you how to spend. Okay. No. And I want to make it clear. You don't need to buy a car or an expensive watch. Whatever you want to spend your money on, you spend your own money on. Even me, I did very, very well for myself in life. I was only 23 when I bought my first car. I just didn't care. So you get to decide, okay? What I'm showing you here is how to make money. And by the way, even if you only manage to make 1% of what I have made in my career, I can tell you that is enough to take care of your people. You don't need to do all this crazy stuff. You know, for me, the first $5,000, the first $10,000 I made, I put it back into taking care of my people. One of the smallest little things that I did, my mom always wanted to go to Paris, and we grew up in London. Paris from London, anyone who's in Europe understands like traveling in Europe is cheap. It's not like this big like holiday thing. It's like, it's very cheap. And she had literally lived in London for, at that point, what, 14, 15 years? She'd never been to Paris. I know it sounds small. I know it sounds dumb, but maybe a lot of you guys can relate to just making a small promise, okay? That small promise was, I'm going to take you to Paris. And I made good on that promise. So please do whatever you want. Spend your money however you want. Just one promise is whatever promises you made to your loved ones, just please execute on those promises first and make good on those promises first. And once your people are sorted, then no one can tell you how to enjoy yourself. You know, that's up to you. Okay. So I'm going back to the point of this video. So far in this challenge, we have covered the 4 big waves of the digital world, the $684.9 million per day digital product industry that's shockingly untapped, as well as how combining AI with digital products will create the 5th and biggest wave yet. How AI is as smart as PhD level individuals, and how it can even outperform them in their own fields, as well as how we're using easy to use proprietary AI to identify and create wildly profitable digital products, even on topics that we know nothing about. I'm also going to show you how you can start from scratch by creating simple, non-expert digital products, even if you don't want to show your face, by following a simple 4-step process. And finally, I've just shown you 3 formats of non-expert digital products that virtually guarantee that you will get sales. And the best part is you've still only seen a tiny fraction of the success that people are having with digital products. There are tens of thousands of people making significant income from digital products using Whop. And that is how you know that this stuff works and it will work for you. After all, it has worked for me to generate over $100 million in digital products. It's worked for a 60-year-old to sell millions in digital products on woodworking, for a guy making $8,000 a month selling Fortnite maps without showing his face, for this guy who built a recurring income of $121,000 a month selling a simple newsletter, for regular everyday people who have earned over $1 billion with digital products on Whop. Let that land, over $1 billion that we've put in people's pockets with digital products on Whop. Can you see how you're only one digital product away from the life that you have always dreamed of? And now, do you understand how having the right tools to create a digital product with AI can lead you to your turning point without any previous expertise or authority on the topic of your product? And how does it feel being able to create as many products as you want on demand by simply clicking a few buttons, giving you endless chances to figure out? As I said, your first product, maybe your second product, maybe your third product, maybe those aren't winners. Maybe your 50th product isn't a winner. But as long as you have an opportunity to pull the slot machine and have those products create, as long as it doesn't cost you time or money, and you can create as many products as you want until you find a winner, who cares? Yeah, maybe you only get it on your 13th try. But if your 13 tries only takes you, a few hours to actually have those products created for you, who cares? And if it costs you no extra money to create more products, then who cares? Okay. And that a single digital product might be the bridge from where you are right now to where you want to go to. So let me ask you, are you getting excited over the idea of finally making real income from an online business? And wouldn't you agree that right now is the best time to take advantage of this new AI opportunity with digital products? So the question now is, are you ready to act as an ungovernable individual and take full advantage of this new 5th wave of digital market before the big wave comes in? Go ahead and drop a commit in the chat. And I want to see which one of you guys are serious. Because listen, unfortunately, sometimes in life you get serious, you get tire kickers, you get the ones who are just window shoppers, and you get the ones who understand that at a certain point, you can't just keep making excuses for yourself. At a certain point, it's time to go in. Okay. Commit. Yeah, of course. Of course you guys are committing, because you guys are fucking legends. Yeah, I love it. And by the way, I also just want to give you guys all a round of applause. Everything that I've seen yesterday, it's funny. My co-host Jason, listen, he's spoken he's done live presentations for almost 2 decades now. He's done literally hundreds of live presentations. And he said the crowd that we've had, considering how many people, right now we have 37,000, considering how many people we have watching this, he said this is one of the most unique, special crowds I've ever seen. You have some absolute badasses. You have some committed people who are tuning in and watching in every single day. And I was like, yeah, I know. We got some real legends around. So with that being said, if you're here right now, I want to offer you a very special opportunity, an opportunity to take advantage of the best time ever to create a digital product with the best technology ever to make this happen. And with me being your guide as well, so that way we can do this correctly, not over 1 or 2 years, but in the next 90 days as a focused 90-day sprint. So that way you can prove to yourself that you can finally be successful. Are you up for that? Are you committed? Are you the sort of person who's committed? I've seen it already. And as I said, that's why I'm like so proud of you. I know we're still early stages, but I'm already so fucking proud of you guys, for showing up and being here and committing. By the way, I'll just say how it is. Especially if at the end there was a $200,000 McLaren, 5 Rolexes, and a 1 full day mastermind with me at the Whop New York offices. If so, it is a great pleasure to present to you Monetize. Monetize is the world's first complete system for building profitable digital products without needing any expertise, technical skills, or previous experience. Because here's the thing, we didn't just want to give you training, okay? We wanted to give you everything you needed to succeed. The education, the software, this is really important. The software to make sure that it's literally done for you. The software, the distribution, the support, the community, all wrapped up under one program that's literally designed to make success almost inevitable. And for me, the software is what I spend a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of focus, because as I said, I want to make sure that no one is left behind. And when I show you everything that's included, you'll understand why I can make such a bold statement. Let me go ahead and break it down for you. By the way, guys, strap in because this is insane. First, we have the digital product formula. This is my 4-step plan to create and scale a digital product from zero. And this is really where all the magic happens. This is the map, because it doesn't matter if you have access to all the best tools if you don't know how to use them. And unlike most courses that throw out 87 random modules at you, then just expect you to figure out how to put the pieces together yourself. Remember, in life, you can do it yourself or you can have it done for you. We've stripped this down to the 4 essential pillars that you need to succeed with digital products. Nothing less, nothing more. Just the exact steps that we have used to generate over $100 million with digital products, broken down into a proven 4-step system that anyone can follow. How to develop your product, how to distribute it to the right people, how to deliver it without going insane, and how to scale it once you have proof that it works. That is it. Master these 4 pillars and you're set for life. So let me break down exactly what each pillar contains. Let's start with pillar 1, develop. Question, what if there was a way that, like magic, you could push a few buttons and follow a few simple directions, and you could have an incredible, life-changing digital product created before your very eyes, just like magic? Well, that is exactly what you can do now thanks to AI. Inside Pillar 1, you're going to discover our AI-powered development system that literally builds your entire digital product for you. I'm talking about everything, the actual content, the tools and templates, even the video scripts. And the craziest part, you don't need to have any previous experience to win big with your very first digital product, because our system is specifically designed to help you create what we call non-expert products. These are digital products that solve real problems without requiring you to be some guru or authority figure. Inside Pillar 1, we show you exactly how to use AI to identify profitable product opportunities that aren't saturated with competition, get your entire product built for you, including all the tools, templates, and content. Structure everything in a way that actually delivers results, so that way your customers keep coming back, just like the multiple successful products that I've shown you here today. And the best part, this entire process takes less than a day. Okay, maybe a couple of days, not months. And you don't have to write a single line of content for your product or hire expensive experts to do it for you. The system handles it all. Do you see why people invest tens of thousands of dollars to develop a system like this that works for them inside their business? Wouldn't you love to have a system like this working for you in your business as well? Of course. Now, let's talk about pillar number 2, distribute. Okay. As you already know, this isn't about selling a product. We don't want to sell a product. It's about being in the right place where people are already looking for your product. That, my friend, is distribution. Now, what if you had premium placement in those exact same places? How much of an advantage would that be to you? Well, That is exactly what you get. You see, most courses teach distribution all wrong. They tell you to burn thousands of dollars on ads or do some complicated launch strategy that requires 57 different moving pieces. We are not doing any of that. Instead, Pillar 2 shows you our organic fast track system for getting your first sale without spending a single penny on ads. And by the way, guys, here, I'm not talking about spamming people's DMs like some creepy internet salesman. No, 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 no. We show you how to tap into existing distribution channels where people are already looking to buy digital products just like yours. Inside Pillar 2, you're going to discover how to position your product so it stands out, even in crowded marketplaces. And I'm going to show you our strategic approach to getting those crucial first 5 to 10 sales that prove that your product works. And the best part, this entire distribution system costs you $0 to implement. We are basically giving you a step-by-step roadmap for getting your product in front of hungry buyers without having to become any sort of social media influencer or burn through your savings on ads. How much easier would it be for your digital products to be successful if they were distributed at all the best locations where people are already looking to buy what you sell and are already hanging out? This brings us to pillar number 3, deliver. Now, what if you could sell the same product 10 times or 10,000 times with the exact same amount of work? How much easier would it be for you to double, quadruple, or even 10x how much you were making if the work you had to do was exactly the same? Here is the thing. Most people try to fulfill their digital products manually. They're answering customer emails at 3 a.m., constantly updating broken links, dealing with technical issues, managing support tickets. It is draining and it kills any chance of scaling. That is why Pillar 3 is all about automation. We show you how to set up your delivery system so that way your digital product basically runs itself. And I am talking about setting up your product delivery so it's completely hands-free, building out self-service portals that actually improve the customer experience. And the best part is once you set these systems up, they work for you 24/7, whether you have 10 customers or you have 10,000 customers. And this is what truly allows you to actually enjoy the income from your digital product instead of becoming a slave to it. That is when you truly get to create a product once and sell it 10,000 times. Ladies and gentlemen, think about it. What is the point of building a freedom business that you're just chained to all day? We're not trying to build a golden handcuff situation here, okay? That is why we spend so much time perfecting these delivery systems so that way you can focus on growth instead of getting buried in the day-to-day operations. Wouldn't it be great to have all the best technology working on your behalf without you even knowing how it works? Congratulations, you now have exactly that. It's exciting, isn't it? And finally, we have pillar 4, which is scale. Let me ask you a question. If every time I gave you $1 and every time you gave me $1 and I gave you $2 back, how many times would you give me a dollar bill? I mean, as many times as you could, no? Well, that's exactly what you can do here when you find a successful digital product that's ready to scale. And this is where things get really exciting because once you have a proven product and a solid distribution channel and automated delivery, now it's time to pour gasoline on the fire. Inside Pillar 4, we show you our advanced distribution strategies for taking your digital products from a few sales to dozens of sales every single day. But here's what makes our scaling system different. We don't just tell you to spend money on ads. Instead, we show you how to create what we call distribution multipliers. These are strategic placement opportunities that exponentially increase your reach without proportionally increasing your costs. So that way you can put $1 in and get $2, $3, $5 out a lot of times. You see, inside Pillar 4, you're going to discover how to identify and secure premium placement opportunities that drive consistent daily sales, as well as advanced optimization strategies that turn more strangers into buyers. Most importantly, in this phase, we're going to give you a complete contingency plan and step-by-step instructions on what to do if your digital product is not getting sales. Because let's face it, not everyone is going to get this right the first time. And that is the beauty of this system. You can try as many times as you want until you succeed with no extra cost. And here in this phase, I show you exactly when to create a new product, how to reposition your existing one in case it's not selling, as well as how to identify what the actual bottleneck is. So let me ask you a question. Wouldn't it be incredible to have a systematic approach where each dollar you invest brings back multiple dollars in return? The truth is, these 4 pillars work together as a complete system. You get access to all of them inside the digital product formula, along with weekly coaching calls where we show you how to implement everything. And here's the thing, this blueprint alone will be worth the investment. Now, I know that if you're still watching until this point, it means you can clearly see that this works and that it's a proven replicable process to succeed. If you're watching until this point, we have 35,681 people watching, or at least what I can see on my screen. It's because you're committed. It's because you are a badass and you are ready to take things to the next level. So another thing I know about you is that although you might trust the process, maybe you don't fully trust yourself. And I get that. I've been there before. And that was my biggest objective with this whole event. And by the way, guys, we're just getting started with this event. We got way more fun to go. But I wanted to make sure that no person is left behind. It's impossible for anyone to get left behind. And in order to do that, I get it. Sometimes it's hard to trust yourself. I've been there before. We've all been there where you're like, I don't know if I can do this. I get it. Or trust me, I really do. I can understand that this can be overwhelming, especially if maybe you're not big into technology or maybe it's your first ever business. And that is exactly why I created a situation where you don't need to trust yourself. All you need to do is trust the software. Let me say that again. I have created a situation, a risk-free situation, by the way, and we'll get into that in a second, where you don't even need to trust yourself. You just need to trust the software. The software does it all for you. I want to stack the deck so heavily in your favor that success almost becomes inevitable. So let me show you the absolute insane bonuses that I'm going to be giving you as well. Okay, the insane bonuses that we're including. Starting with the software that will do all of the work for you, so that way you don't even need to trust yourself to follow this process. Bonus number 1, Synthesis AI. At this point, you're already very familiar with what Synthesis AI can do. It develops the entire product for you, the core content, all the necessary tools, even the scripts for your product videos. This AI is trained on all of the data of over $1 billion in digital product sales from Whop. More importantly, Synthesis AI is specifically designed to help you create products that don't require you to be an expert. Now, there's something else that I haven't told you about Synthesize. It's about that behind the scenes secret I mentioned earlier. Now, here's the thing. It's all fine and well me saying this, but I wanted to prove to you that Synthesize could create something that people actually wanted and loved. And that actually worked. So here's the thing. You remember when you registered for the event? I offered you a program there, a digital product there called Millionaire Mindset. There's about 12,000, I'll need to check the number, but almost 13,000 people that have bought that. It's about I checked the numbers, it's $375,000 in the last 30 days I made from that. That entire program, word for word, was created by Synthesize. Every single class was scripted word for word. And there's a catch. There's something else I'm not mentioning. That program was created with Synthesize AI alpha version, the January version. That was released back in Jan. It was literally the first program it ever created. Now listen, the point of that program was not to make money. I'll be honest, that I'm very blessed and fortunate. That doesn't change my life at this point. The reason I wanted to show it, and I also got the numbers from the team. We have a 3.58, I believe, 3.59% refund rate. So that's like only out of 100 customers with an unconditional guarantee. Like no questions, money back guarantee. Only 4 out of 100 people ask for a refund. So people have been loving that program. They've been going crazy for it. And it was all created by Synthesis AI. Today, though, you would not be able to tell a program created by Synthesize or by a PhD in that area. The level of programs it's creating right now, it doesn't even come close. It's unfathomable. It goes back to the 2 points we made at the beginning of today's session on how the new AI models just passed the Turing test and now outperform PhDs in their own fields. And by the way, another thing that was very important for me when I created that $29 digital product is I didn't even show my face. If you go look at Millionaire Mindset, I didn't even show my face. I didn't record my face in any of the screen recordings because I just wanted to prove to you that even if you don't want to, you don't need to show your face and people are still going to love the product. And on top of that, I actually made a huge mistake in the framing of this product just to prove a point. I sold a mindset course, which, by the way, guys, remember, that is a terrible framing. That's a horrible product to sell. Listen, it's not even positioned in the second layer, but in the first layer. And you already understand why that's a huge no-go. I've already explained the third layer theory and why Millionaire Mindset is a horrible product to sell. And still, it made over $370,000 from it in the last 30 days alone. Almost 13,000 people joined it. Here's the actual official stats right here. I've spent 90 minutes of work to make more than most people make in a year. So this is literal proof of concept that synthesized works, even while making all the mistakes. I made all the pricing mistakes, all the framing mistakes. I made all the mistakes, and it still brought in 370K in the last 3 days. Do you see why we have a huge wait list of people wanting to pay $2,999 a year for access to the software? The best part, you're getting unlimited access to it and no extra cost as part of your monetized purchase. And by the way, every single digital product you generate there costs me money, just so you guys understand how like software works. All right. And this is why I said at the beginning, listen, you can do it yourself or you can have it done for you. Now, obviously, anytime you have it done for you, everyone understands that in life you pay for tools. Let's say you want to start a lemonade stand. Okay. You can start a lemonade stand, but you're still gonna have to pay for a lemon squeezer. Listen, it's free to play football. We still have to pay for a football itself. It's free to play tennis. We still have to buy a racket. Okay. So what I'm doing here is I'm giving you guys the high level overview for, the top 1% who want to take a step further, who are committed, who are serious, and they just want a system that's done for them. That's really what we've created here. As you know, using AI is not free. Okay. By the way, using any software isn't free, or at least, to the person who created it. And it can get very, very, very expensive, especially with the complexity of the tasks that we're doing here. But I don't want you to have to worry about any of the costs at this stage of your business. I'm basically paying for your first employee for free. So just imagine having an AI trained on $1 billion in sales data that can create entire products for you without you needing to be an expert. The same AI that generated a product that made me $370,000 in the last 30 days without even showing my face. And it took me 90 minutes and it was done for me step by step, word by word. And by the way, just remember, that was with intentionally poor positioning. And you get unlimited access with no extra cost or usage limits. Isn't that exactly the sort of unfair advantage that you've been searching for to finally achieve your turning point and stop having to depend on others? Who wouldn't want access to the same proven system that 10,000 others have already validated with their offers? I've had 12,000, however many, almost 13,000 people prove that this is a quality product with their wallets. Now, this one might sound a little crazy, but I want you to hear me out. Because when you join Monetize today, you're also going to get a golden ticket to Monetize Mania. This is a 90-day competition we're running where we are ranking the top-selling digital products created inside Monetize. And the prizes, well, let's just say we went a little overboard with this. The winner gets a $200,000 McLaren. Yep, you read that right. An actual McLaren. So the person inside Monetize who performs the best with their digital product, they get a McLaren. They're going to be driving a McLaren in 90 days. Now, the next top 5 performers, they're all getting Rolexes. The next 10, Rimowa luggages, premium Rimowa luggages. And you're going to need it, by the way, because you're going to be doing some traveling. You're going to be doing some traveling to the NYC headquarters of Whop. Our top 30 performers will fly out to New York for an exclusive one-day mastermind with myself and the rest of the Whop team. Now, you might be thinking, okay, that's cool and all, but realistically, what are my chances of actually winning? Here's the thing. Everyone who joins this week and everyone who joins today is starting from the same place. Okay? 0. And with our AI systems basically building the products for you, the playing field has never been more level. Plus, even if you don't win the McLaren, just being in this competition is going to light a fire under your ass to actually implement everything you learn. And by the way, my whole policy with this whole thing is no one gets left behind. So even if you don't win the McLaren, when you get your first sale, because remember, I'm a co-owner in Whop. I'm invested an ungodly amount of money in Whop to become a co-owner. So that way, when you succeed, we succeed. And we can track all of your movements. So when you sell your first digital product, there's a prize for you. I'm not going to disclose what that prize is, but you get rewarded. When you make your first $10,000, there's more prizes for you. You're going to get rewarded. So I know every single person, it doesn't matter if you go on to win the McLaren in 90 days or, within 90 days, you only sell $800 worth. It doesn't matter. We have rewards for you because every single person watching this, you matter. And we're not going to leave you behind. And you're going to see that with, you're going to see how we've eliminated every single risk possible and made this truly a fully done with you and done for you solution. Because listen, let's be honest. Sometimes we all need that extra motivation, okay? And for me personally, nothing motivates, nothing can motivate quite like a $200,000 supercar and the prospect of literally driving that in 90 days. As I said, I'm not asking you to commit for 1 or 2 years. No, 90 days. This is all you need to completely change your life. So my question to you is, can you commit for the next 90 days? I want you guys to go ahead and drop in the chat. Go ahead, type in the chat, commit. If you can commit for 90 days, I'm not asking for 6 months, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, 90 days. That is it. Can you commit? Commit, commit. Yes. Committed. That McLaren is mine. No one left behind. Exactly. All right. So listen, I have two other huge bonuses that you're going to get with this. And I've made a massive investment out of my own pocket to make these bonuses available to you. And they are actually going to make one of the hardest parts of the business become the easiest. Once again, another part of the business is going to be done for you. Okay. Distribution. And if I said it to you, quite frankly, you wouldn't even believe me. That's why I'm not going to say it to you. In fact, I'm going to show it to you when you get into the members area. You see, once you use even just one of these two tools, this is going to completely change the game for you. But you have to use it in order to truly understand it. And once you do, you're going to be able to understand what I'm talking about here. And I want you to be pleasantly surprised like a kid at Christmas once you get in there and you see this in front of your eyes. So these two bonuses are so powerful and so unbelievable that I'm actually going to go ahead and keep them a secret and only reveal them to the members once you go ahead and sign up. Now, bonus 5 is a good one. Fast track. So imagine this, you and I working together side by side, locked in for the next 4 weeks. How much of an advantage do you think that would give you over everyone else? Well, that is exactly what I've done for you. The 4-week fast track with me. Over the next 4 weeks, I'm going to personally host 4 live masterclasses as well as my team, literally Monday to Friday, every single day of the week. All right, Monday to Friday, every single day for the next 4 weeks, we're going to be working together. Okay, and we're going to be guaranteeing your success. Not only would you walk through the entire process of going from zero to actually having your digital product created, launched, and generating sales, but most importantly, you get the advantage every single person, every successful person ever has had, which is a good coach and a good mentor, which is direct access to me. And you get the benefit of being on the line and committed to success, which is what I want for you and what you want for you. And this is why we're doing it over the space of 4 weeks. So that way I'm there with you every step of the way. And here's what makes this difference. When I introduce new opportunities to the market, I don't just make money with myself. I create waves of success stories. It creates entire revolutions in the digital market. I mean, just look at what happened with SMA. It created tons of massive successes and gave thousands of regular people their turning point moment. Now I'm doing it again, but even bigger. And this time with technology and software that I didn't have available to me before. And when we do something like this, we can change the whole fabric of the entire internet. So would you like to be a part of this change? To get to be there before everyone else shows up? Think about it. 4 weeks from now, while everyone else is still planning to get started, you could have your digital product up and running, actually making you money. Now, there's a catch. This fast track bonus is only for the first 500 people who join today. Okay. Listen, this is a very hands-on program. I can only coach so many people at the same time. I can't do this for everyone. And by the way, this is not for everyone. You know, some people want to go at their own pace, so this isn't relevant to them. But I know there's at least 500 souls on the line here today. Out of the 35,000, there's 500 that would kill for an opportunity like this. And I don't feel comfortable with more than 500. And considering everything else you're getting, plus my track record of creating success stories, I expect these spots to fill up fast, especially when you see the guarantee. Oh, yeah. Now, I'm going to go ahead and open up spots for this in a second. And when I open, just so you're aware, in anticipation of all the demand, we already have people real time inform me. So I'm going to have my team here on my phone. If I check my phone, I'm going to get an update. So I'll keep you guys updated and I'll let you know. So once the number gets close to 500, I will give you a warning and I'll be very clear with you. We might reach it before the end of the call. We might not. I can't tell the future, but I will tell you this. We got over 500,000 people watching our first episode yesterday in under 24 hours. So we expect this to go very quickly. And if it does, I will go ahead and let you know. And by the way, the moment it does, we are going to go into the checkout page and we're actually going to delete that bonus from the checkout page. So once I give you the URL, if it's still there by the time you check out, that means you get it. Okay. So when I give you the URL, if you see the bonus, great, it's still available. But you have to hurry up because, as I said, it might be gone any minute. So let me go ahead and break down everything you get today. First, you get the complete digital product formula with all 4 pillars for developing, distributing, delivering, and scaling your digital product. So that way you can be one of the first to ride the 5th wave of the digital market. Then, this is insane, you get unlimited access to Synthesis AI, which we already have a huge wait list of people wanting to pay $2,999 for on its own. Then You get your golden ticket to Monetize Mania, where we're giving away $250,000 worth of prizes. You get 2 secret, undisclosed, very special bonuses that are so insane, so powerful. I actually can't even talk to you about them right now. You're going to have to find out once you're in the members area. All backed, and this is insane, with our work with you until you win guarantee. Our work with you until you win guarantee. You have never seen anything like this before. More on this in a minute. You also get to work together, side by side, locked in with me over the space of 4 weeks straight, Monday to Friday, with the 4-week fast track. The total value here is well over $10,000, which would be an incredible deal if you had to invest $10,000 to be a part of this. At $5,000, this would be an even better deal. At $3,000, this would be totally insane in terms of the incredible deal that you're getting, which is why it is an absolute no-brainer for you to sign up right now at a special deal of only $14.95. That's it. And yes, financing is available. Now, the only question is, are you ready to take advantage of this opportunity? So here's what happens next. In just a moment, I'm going to go ahead and drop a link for you to join in the comments. When I drop the link, you have a decision to make. You can either take everything we've talked about today, file it away as oh, that was some interesting information, and go back to whatever it is that you're already doing. Or you can take action right now. You can be committed. I've already seen how many of you guys have written commit and are committed to this and are committed and want to have the best support, best tools. So that way it's almost impossible for you to fail, because once again, as I said, you don't need to trust yourself. You just trust the software. And take the first step to being an ungovernable individual and achieve your turning point in the next 90 days. The choice is yours. But remember, this exact offer with all these bonuses will never be available ever again. The McLaren competition starts soon. The fast track with me is limited to the first 500 people, and the premium placement opportunities on Whop are going to fill up fast. So if you are ready to finally build a real online business, one that generates consistent income without requiring you to be some guru or tech genius, then click the link that I'm dropping in the live chat in 3, 2, and 1. There we go. Now, in case you can't click it, just go to joiniman.com and it will take you to the same page. Once again, that's joiniman.com and it will take you to the exact same page. You're going to be redirected to a secure checkout page. You're going to choose the option that makes the most sense to you, and let's start building your digital product empire today. Because in 6 weeks from now, you could be watching your first sales coming in while everyone else is still thinking about it. Now, let me show you why this might be the most powerful guarantee ever offered in the industry. This is a better than money back guarantee. It is a work with you until you win guarantee. This is a no one gets left behind guarantee. See, the fact is, we know that you don't need money itself. The $14.95 is not going to make or break your life situation. That's a very small amount of money, okay? You spend that every single year on the new iPhone or some BS TV, or like there's 101 things you waste your money on, okay? You don't need more money. That's not an issue for people. What is an issue for people is not the money, but learning how to create a money printer, a machine that prints money for you consistently on demand. Because once you have that, all your problems get eradicated. And on Monetize, we work with you until you have that in place. There's no fancy conditions. There's no complicated rules. There's no sneaky fine prints. It's simple. You have to make at least $15,000 with your digital product, or we keep working with you until you do. Period. We will never charge you another dollar. We will keep coaching you. We will keep giving you updates to new programs, and we will keep supporting you until you hit that $15,000 mark. Once you hit $15,000 and you've made it 10x on what you paid, I feel like that's a pretty fair deal. Like I feel like, we now I also want to make something clear. At that point, it's not like you get removed from pro. You still have access to everything, but I'm just saying we are not going to leave a single person behind. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but how do you actually verify these numbers? And that's a fair question. And here is where things get really interesting. You see, most programs that offer income guarantees, they have no real way to verify if you ever even hit those numbers. But here is what makes our guarantee different. We can see everything on Whop. Every sale, every customer, every dollar, it's all tracked in our backend, which means we're not working on some honor system where you have to trust us about the results. We can literally verify every number in real time. And that is why we can offer you such a strong guarantee, because we know this works and we can prove it's working for you. So just remember, you really only have two options. Either you succeed and you make at least $15,000, or we keep working with you until you do. There's really no way to lose here. Listen, those are really your two options. You succeed, and that is truly our money back guarantee, or sorry, our work with you until you win guarantee. There's no way to lose here. Now, I know some of you guys are wondering, okay, if your investment is also protected with a 7-day full refund policy. And here, this is another layer of protection. For if any reason you don't like what you get inside Monetize, you have 7 days to get your money back. All you need to do is email support at Monetize and ask for a refund, and it will get processed with no questions within the first 24 hours. Ladies and gentlemen, I am taking all of the risk here. With this, I'm taking all of the risk. You like, I couldn't possibly be taking more risk on my side. You don't have any risk on your end today. Now, I want to make something clear. If you have any issues checking out, our team might reach out to you, or not might, our team will reach out to you within 5 minutes through the contact information you filled out on the checkout page. So if you have any problems, anything like that comes about, just be aware that a member of my team will message you within 5 minutes. So keep an eye on your WhatsApp or your SMS for that. And remember, you're guaranteed to make at least $15,000, or we keep working with you until you do. This is insane, and no one else can offer this. The only reason I can offer this, listen, 6 months ago I couldn't do this. A year ago I couldn't do this, because I'm a co-owner in Whop now. We're on the same team. No one can be left behind. So you have the software to fulfill all of this for you, which means the only way this investment doesn't pay off is if you don't take action. And by the way, just another thing, if finances are tight for you right now, get this. We have set up the best third-party financing for you that the market has ever seen. Why? To make this accessible to anyone who's serious about changing their situation. And because we process everything through Whop, which gives us access to data that most companies simply don't have, we are able to offer financing plans that literally no one else can. No one else can offer this. We're talking about breaking this down into manageable payments that anyone can afford. Okay. Now, I will say not everyone can qualify for financing. So, unfortunately, that's not on our end. All we've done is we've put in the best financing partners in the world. So if that is available to you based on your personal situation, that's definitely an option there that you can take. And all of this is done with our work with you until you win guarantee. You are guaranteed to make at least $15,000, or we will keep working with you. We will coach you. We'll be in your corner. We'll be side by side with you until you do. So these payments basically take care of themselves, which you should have in mind when finding a single winning product is really all you need to do. So moving forward, get to decide on what you work. Okay, this is really what we're trying to do here and what we're accomplishing here. For you to be able to decide on what you work, where you work from, when you work, or even if you want to work in the first place. No longer stress about money and reclaim the ownership of your life and be the one dictating the shots once again. You are only one single digital product away from the life that you have always dreamed of. Now, before we get into our favorite part of the session, which is our actually informal live Q&A, there's one last thing I need to cover: your homework. Every single day, I'm going to send you a workbook in the WhatsApp group for the challenge with your homework. Now, if you're not there yet, you can join by registering with your email using the link in the description of this video. By the way, every single workbook has its own password, and that way we actually have to give it to you live. So every day we give this live. The password for today is develop, all caps, develop, all caps. So that's today's workbook live password. Remember, the only ones that will actually see results from this challenge are the ones who take actions, who act like ungovernable individuals before you actually become one. So your homework for today is come up with 20 potential topics for your first digital product, or even better, have Synthesis AI do the whole thing for you. As always, you can check out all the details in the resource page. All you have to do is follow the instructions from the workbook and select your topics. And to finish it off, I want to set a deadline for when you're going to make your first digital product sale. Remember what I told you at the beginning of this challenge? I don't want you to put your aim as making $100,000 in a matter of months, because if you don't get there, you're going to be discouraged and you're going to quit. I want you to focus on getting your first small win with the smallest amount of work possible. And that first win is your first sale. That is all you should aim for. Once you get your first sale, then we can think about the next 10. And once you get 10, we can think about 100 and so on. And this is how you get to millions in the industry. But you just have to get started. One foot forward in front of the other is what I always say. And when it comes to developing your product, this is the most fundamental step in launching your first digital product. If you don't develop a product, you won't have anything to distribute and deliver in step 2 and 3 of the method, which we're going to cover tomorrow and Wednesday. And again, I would like to remind you of the 2 essential rules of this challenge. Number 1, it's a challenge. And for you to complete a challenge, it means you need to take action. You need to commit. Okay. And that is truly what sets apart the individuals who will go on to achieve their turning points with digital products from the ones who will keep getting stuck indefinitely as a slave of their own circumstances. So tomorrow, I'm actually going to uncover how to access an untapped source of buyers that's selling $2 to $3 million worth of digital products a month without spending a single dollar on ads, as well as how to take advantage of the Amazon flywheel effect. So that way, whenever other people sell more, you sell more too. And how we actually take one digital product and multiply it into 4 streams of income. So with that, it is now time for our Q&A. I'm going to have my co-host Jason coming back in frame. By the way, guys, yesterday's Q&A went on for about 2 hours. It was incredible. A lot of people said that it was potentially even the most valuable part of the whole presentation. So this is now our chance to be a little bit more informal with it. Let me go ahead and change the main.
Yeah. Time to let our hair down, huh? First